Today's supposed to be vlog day, and I really wanted to go out into the park that I tried to shoot in last week, but unfortunately it just started downpouring. So I'm gonna drive around a bit. I grab some food, and we'll see what we can do. Bet you couldn't see much of that. Later. All right, underground parking, yay! It's always nice to have when it's raining. You know, it was just straight, like, dumping out here a minute ago. And now it's just kind of sprinkling. Fucking love Utah, right? Well, I just spent the last like half an hour throwing some music on a USB stick so I could stick it in my car because I don't really listen to the radio anymore because does anybody? Really? Well, I always stream everything, you know, I just stream music off Spotify to my car. And, well, I haven't got a camera yet, so I'm still stuck using my iPhone to record all this stuff. So, yeah, I can't really, well, I guess I haven't really tried, but I don't think I can stream music from my phone while taking video without at least destroying the audio, if nothing else. I need to go get some fucking fuel for this car. But I don't know. I still don't have a whole lot like figured out that I'd like to talk about. I've been kind of thinking about doing some more topical things. I was gonna do one on Memorial Day about people bitching about it being a barbecue weekend or something, and how it's not a barbecue weekend, it should be about this. And I don't know, maybe I should talk about that a little bit, because holidays in general just piss me off. Like, I just do not get them. I don't understand why people freak the fuck out so much about these stupid holidays that really don't mean anything, you know? The majority of the holidays that we acknowledge in America are just holidays that were created and designed by companies to sell shit. You know, you got Christmas, which is no longer even remotely about the winter solstice. It's just about buying things and doing, you know, spending too much money on stupid bullshit that doesn't matter about anything. I need a new motorcycle. And, you know, Valentine's Day is just about selling shit and buying diamonds and chocolate and whatever bullshit they decide you should buy that year. I don't even remember what Easter used to be about. And no, religious things don't count. Because, or at least biblical religious things. Just because they just took somebody else's thing. Which is all religion generally ever does, is they take somebody else's shit and claims it as their own. It says you're a bad person if you're not thinking about it in the same way that they're thinking about it. And, you know, shit like Memorial Day, like, I fully, like, I'm proud to support all the soldiers that have risked their lives and continue to risk their lives and will risk their lives in the future to allow me to do something stupid like drive my car around and talk to my fucking, you know, $900 cell phone and present videos to the internet so that hopefully other people can enjoy them and whatever, you know. But I don't know, I feel like my main problem with most holidays along the lines of Memorial Day, along the lines of like Valentine's Day, along the lines of any of these days set aside to give respect or love or appreciation to somebody, Mother's Days and Father's Days and all of those kind of days, you know. My main beef with all of that shit is you shouldn't need a fucking day. You know, if it's not something that's going on all the time, what the fuck does it matter if you do it one day out of the year? I don't know, it just doesn't seem like it's a logical thing to me to get all pissy and uppity about one day that we can go ahead and enjoy, you know, your mother for the year or something like that. When you should just be appreciative year round. You know, life's too short to not appreciate, you know, your wife all year, or your mother all year, or, you know, the vets and the current military people. You know, I appreciate them every day. You know, I'm always so I work at a vape shop. We give a 10% off military all the time, all day long kind of thing. And I'm always like catching just like the corner of a military ID in somebody's wallet and like telling them, you know, we give you 10% off all the time. Just show me the ID and or remind me, and we'll just give it to you. You know, I would like to give it to you any chance I have the possibility to. And I don't know, it shouldn't. Basically, it just shouldn't be something that only happens once in a while. And it's just dumb. Anyways, alright. I am at the gas station, so I will see you. Alright. Done getting gas. And munchies. So, one nice thing that I'd forgotten about with playing music on the USB stick, rather than streaming it through Bluetooth on my phone, get back in the car and it just starts right back up. I'm gonna have to sit here and fuck with the fucking phone and try and get Bluetooth synced, and then, you know, half the time Bluetooth fails and then I have to resync it. And it's just weird. Actually, you know what? I should go this way. Fuck it. Let's go this way. Some random music playing, I guess. Just randomly threw a different song in on the album that I'm listening to from a different folder on the USB stick. Wow, this is probably going to be shaky as fuck, isn't it? Got the Vapor Shark RDNA 40. Got their green skin on it. Running an Aspire Atlantis with the nickel coil in it. About 31.1 watts. Not too shabby. I don't know. What was I talking about? So I was talking about holidays and how the holidays are more bullshit than anything to me, because I'd rather appreciate somebody every day rather than be forced one day out of the year to spend money on people just because it's a certain day of the year. It's weird to me. Like, in general, I'm fairly like over generous with my funds, and you know, I'm always down to buy somebody something if I have the money to do it. mean, I've gotten a little bit more stingy lately, but also it's not nearly as broke all the time, which is always a good thing. Oh, traffic looks like it's gonna be bad on 700. Ever since I've been getting into this retail stuff more, I don't know. I've been thinking about like how people run their businesses and how people decide on like locations. You know, you hear the old phrase like location, location, location. Location is the most important thing, you know? And a lot of people just don't seem to really, I don't know, they don't seem to think about that when they're doing stuff and setting up things. And, it's very frustrating when I watch people that I know start up a business and, you know, make bad decisions about things, or not even necessarily bad decisions. They just don't make decisions that seem obvious as the one that they should be using to get farther ahead in things. You know, a lot of people tend to get really stuck in like a stubborn mindset of this is what I want, so that should be what everybody else wants, whether or not it makes any sense that it would be or not. You know, I just want to make this thing. I just want to make this thing, rather than, you know, if I do this and then I do this and then I do this, then I can make my thing that I want to do, but make it fucking awesome because I've taken the steps to get to that point. And just, I think more than anything, it's just being an American. You know, we get a lot of bullshit put upon us, and a lot of people end up thinking that they're far more important than they ever really needed to be, or ever really were in that case. Basically, I'm just trying to say that people in America seem to be very overconfident in who they think they are versus what they can actually accomplish and what they can do. And it's not that I'm saying that you shouldn't reach beyond your measures to try and get into something better. It's more that you need to know what you can handle and what you can do to actually be able to accomplish something. Because if you keep reaching so far beyond your measures, then you're going to just keep failing, and you're never going to get anywhere because you tried to take 20 steps at one time rather than trying to go for 2 or 3, something that you could feasibly jump to. You're trying to leapfrog the entire game just to get to the end, to get to the result that you want. And nobody has any patience anymore, it feels like. You know, like, I'm the same, you know, I don't have nearly the amount of patience that I feel like I should, but I also feel like from the reactions I get from other people that I have more patience than most. I still feel like I'm a very impatient person, and one of my goals that I do just with day-to-day life is to try and focus on the fact that I'm not as patient as I feel like I should be. You know, the more comfortable you get with you, the more lackadaisical you get with what you're trying to accomplish. And I don't know, a lot of people just don't seem to have the desire to want to continue pushing and pushing and pushing because they're close enough, you know? Close enough should be removed from the fucking English dictionary, you know? We shouldn't... Close enough is never enough. You're never quite there when you're just close enough. I know I'm rambling, but I'm also driving and trying to pay attention because I try to be a good driver. It's another thing that especially Utahns have no fucking idea what the hell that means. If they put, say, even like 40% of all of the Utah drivers through an actual like driving test, they would all fail. Every single fucking one of them would lose their ability to drive because they're all really bad at it. You know, everybody, like, when we were talking about going to LA for a little vacation not too long, you know, back when we were living in Phoenix, I guess that was quite a long time ago now, but back when we were living in Phoenix, we were gonna go to LA for a little vacation thing. Everybody was just, dude, be fucking careful. Like, drivers in LA are crazy. They're bonkers. They don't know what they're doing. They're just fucking crazy drivers, right? They're fine. No craziness that I incurred in the like couple days we were there. Well, if you come to Utah, within minutes, you'll have almost got ran over by a crazy driver or almost gotten ran into by a crazy driver or something along those lines, because everybody here is fucking unbelievably horrible at driving. I just drove over to this location pretty close to my house, and it is the thing that got me thinking about stupid business plans and whatnot. So I'm gonna cut it off here for a second. I'm gonna go outside the car and get some things set up, and then see you in a minute. Okay, so this here is the Walmart closest to our house, right? Parking lot, you can't really tell from over here, but the parking lot over here is quite full. You know, it's 90% full-ish, maybe like 85% full. Makes sense, right? It's Walmart. Walmart's always fucking full because they sell shit for cheap and they sell cheap shit, so you have to buy more of it because it's cheap, right? Well, then you come directly across the street, not even like down the road a bit, directly across the street, you got Kmart. Kmart parking lot is basically always empty. You know, we're looking maybe 10 cars. 10 cars in the parking lot. Let's try this. So there's 10 cars in the parking lot. It's just sad. Like, I don't understand why you would continue to run this location. Now, I don't know one way or another whether Walmart was here first or whether Kmart was here first, but either way, Kmart, you need to move. Like, it's a nice location, I suppose. It's pretty in the middle of a lot of things, but it's not. I cannot imagine that they're making enough money to truly keep that building running. And that's just silly to me. It's silly why you would do that. across the street from your biggest competitor who's going to beat you. So yeah, I don't know. That kind of stuff just boggles my mind. Like, why you would continue to struggle trying to keep something open when, especially as a big company, you know, it's one thing when you're like a small company and it's like your only store and stuff like that. But when you're a company as big as Kmart, like, I feel like you could pretty easily just, you know, without, obviously it's going to still cost a lot of money, but the money you would make by moving that location, like that amount of product and whatnot that you were trying to sell, to a different location that isn't directly across the street from your biggest competitor, who is obliterating you in sales and money and in product movement and whatnot. It just, that kind of shit doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know. And like, with iVape, we ended up dealing with having to move locations. We opened this shop on like the main strip of Salt Lake City. It's called State Street. Back in Lincoln, Nebraska, when I lived there, their main strip was O Street. Ran straight through the town, basically just completely straight. And like 90% of what you'd ever need to buy, you could probably find somewhere down the long line of that road. This was great. It was up by a mall, so we ended up getting a lot of foot traffic from that. It was in this nice little complex, which turned out to not be so nice because we ended up getting broken into a few times. I think over like a 6-month period, there was 9 or 10 break-ins in that little complex of ours. And it was in Murray. Murray is like, I guess, a suburb kind of thing of Salt Lake City. That person just about ran into that person. Utah drivers. But the Murray police were just bullshit. And like, they didn't give a fuck. Did not give a fuck. Like, one of the guys that broke in, we had blood. We had a lot of very clear fingerprints. We had a very clear picture of his face from the security camera attached to the cleaning supply store next door. Still didn't do anything. Told us it was like a 365-day wait or some bullshit like that to get some information about it. But due to Murray being morons, we also ended up having to move because they gave us our business license. This was months before I joined iVape. But they'd given them the business license for that location in Murray, no sweat, right? And then it turned out that the laws had changed or whatever, and you had to be no less than 600 feet away from any other smoke shop or vape shop or anything that sold something containing nicotine, essentially, is what it seemed to come down to. And we were like 582 feet away or something along that line. It was like 18 feet that were too short. And it also, in the law or whatever, it wasn't very clear as to how you had to measure it. Because, like, if you measured it how a person would have to walk from our front door to the smoke shop's front door, it was like 700 and something feet. But if you did it as the bird flies, so like door to door, straight across the street, no path or anything, just as short of a measurement as possible, essentially. We were like 18 feet too short. And the hookah, smoke shop, illegal trafficking, whatever else went on in that shop, found out about it and started threatening to sue the city of Murray, so we ended up having to move the shop because of that. And it was a blow to everyone, you know, especially G&G, you know. I mean, you're gonna take it hard when this thing you've been working on for a year and a half just all of a sudden has to fucking close and you have to go somewhere else and do something else. Well, we're not doing something else, you know, we're doing the same thing. We're just doing it better now. You know, it was hard. And it's hard for everybody to have to go and deal with this. And you know, they ended up having to go to a bunch of court dates. They paid a lot of money in lawyer fees to continue fighting it and trying to get it pushed back and whatnot, to just try and get it going so they could stay. And it ended up just falling apart and we ended up moving. So now we're at the new shop. Other than the parking problems at the new shop, it is immensely better. Like, they dumped everything they had into it. You know, people come into the shop thinking that, oh man, we're just ballers, we got so much money. But it's not that. It's that Grant and Grady are willing to put everything they can into the business to make it as strong and as worth it as possible, you know? And that's, you know, it's something to be proud of, and that's something to look up to. And I don't understand why so many other companies that are starting up and doing things aren't willing to do the hard stuff. They just want the end result awesomeness, and they're not willing to, you know, put up with the bullshit. And it's just weird. It's weird to think about. And this one, I mean, it's something I try to think about a lot because I want my brain, I want to go to the hard stuff first. I want to do the hard stuff. I want to, you know, figure out the right way to get through something so that I have long-term results, not just short-term results. And it's not like I want to avoid awesome short-term results, but that's not my goal. That's just a benefit. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. As long as it's a push towards the end goal. And I just... Sorry. Rissa, my wife, just texted me, and it had me distracted, because that's what she does to me. But as long as it's pushing towards the long-term goals, then take it as it comes. I mean, I genuinely have no desire to ever be like a big millionaire, multi-millionaire, billionaire, any of that kind of shit. If it comes, it comes, but that's not my goal. My goal in life is to do something I like, to have people around me that make my life better. And just to not struggle. You know, everybody's focused on wanting to have this and wanting to have that and wanting this and that and that and that and that and that and that. I don't know. Personally, to me, the goal for life should be to succeed at enjoying your life. It's not very long. You don't get another one. So why are you going to spend all your time hating yourself or hating this or hating your life because you can't have this and you can't have that? You know, it's not... Life isn't about all the little things that you can have. It's about all the experiences that you can do and that you can have. And it's a real hard... it's a hard thing to wrap your head around, that you just, especially in America, because, you know, everybody watches a lot of fucking TV, and TV's always telling you that you need to own the coolest new gadget and whatnot, and I'm 100% guilty of always wanting the new gadget. You know, I've had 3 cell phones this year already. I had the 6 Plus, which was nice, just real big. Then it's been a couple years since I had Android, so I got the Galaxy S6 Edge, which is garbage. Like, it was not a good phone. Maybe it was just my use case. I'm sure it's a great phone for a lot of people, don't get me wrong. But for my use case, it was not worth anything. It like crashed so much. And like the Edge thing, while looks beautiful, was uncomfortable to hold, and every time I like went to reach to touch something, my palm would be activating different icons or whatever the fuck was in that location at that time. It was irritating. And you know, I really want an Apple Watch. There is no reason to own one. Not a single one. Other than maybe in these vlogs, because it'd be nice to like turn the camera on and off without having to walk up and hit the button every time. But that's not really a reason. Like, I could probably get a Bluetooth little like button to do that. And I want it for like health tracking kind of stuff, because I feel like it would be nice to have that. And I don't want like a Fitbit or something along those lines, because if I'm going to wear something on my wrist, I want it to tell me the time and everything too, and I don't want to deal with a Fitbit. And I also just really haven't looked into them that much. They don't pique my interest like something like an Apple Watch or a Pebble or an Android Wear do, because I've always been the nerdy techie kid, and that's what I like. I think we're gonna take a break for a second so I can text my wife back. Alright, so anyways, what was I saying? I was talking about especially people here in America, because I don't really have, you know, a whole lot of experience with people who, you know, have grown up and spent a long majority of their life or anything in other countries. You know, I've known a few, but most of the people that I've known, you know, have been born in America. They've always lived in America, and America's what they know. And something about just the culture in this country just encourages everybody to be overly gluttonous about basically everything. And just, I feel like most Americans feel like they deserve things, when in reality the things that they feel like they deserve are truly just luxury items and luxury things, not something that's necessary for life, but they feel entitled to it. And I feel like that's something that we need to start pushing American culture away from, so that we don't feel like So I don't feel like we deserve things. You know, people don't understand the pleasure of earning things anymore. They only understand the pleasure of acquiring things. And it's sad. It's sad that we're losing our, we're losing our hard work. Nobody wants to work for anything anymore. They just want to have it all handed to them and given to them. And I don't know. Some of my favorite things I've ever done are things that are hard to work for, that I had to work for. And everybody just doesn't seem to give a shit anymore. So I don't know. Man, this episode just seems to be a downer episode, I guess. Sorry. I don't know. I'm kind of liking the car format. Let's just... fuck it. Alright. Let's be happy for a minute. Skip Finger 11 because they're just kind of a sad, depressing sound anyways. Love the music, but still sad, depressing. And I'm sorry for how bouncy this is. You're on my mount that I bought from some shop in the mall that's just attached to the vent fans in my car. And the roads in Utah suck. They suck real bad. Somebody's texting me and I don't know who it is. Yeah. I don't know. I want people to appreciate things more, and I feel like if you work more for them, you'll appreciate the things that you have more. And I feel like I have to work for everything. We've been basically nothing but broke since we got married, and every little purchase that a large chunk of the country wouldn't even think about, is things that we have to struggle to get and struggle to save up money for and purchase and whatnot. A lot of that's our fault. A lot of that's my fault, because we've gotten ourselves into debt on this or debt on this and whatnot, and it was just it's always been a struggle, and I feel like I appreciate my products more. Like I was talking with Rissa the other day, over the 15, 16 years I've carried a cell phone, I think I've only ever had one, maybe two, really, make your stomach jump kind of, oh shit, drops of a cell phone in that long time, because I'm super fucking careful about it, because they're fucking expensive. And I can't tell you how many people I see coming into my shop all the time that have just phones that are just shattered and beat to shit, and just people do not take care of their shit, and it's because everybody gets it so easily anymore that you don't have to worry about it, because fuck it, I'll just get another one, it'll be alright. And it's just not cool. So, yeah. I'm pulling up home now, so I should probably knock this off before I go down into the underground parking. Otherwise, you probably won't be able to see me. So this might be it for today. I might do some more afterwards. This is already really long. When I stopped to text Rissa, I went into the Photos app and looked at and tried to count up the minutes, and we're over 30 minutes already again. So this might be it. Might not. I might do another one tomorrow if I have some time. I think we're planning on going out to dinner with Chris's uncle and aunt, Dave and Debbie. Should be nice because we don't see them as much anymore. And then, yeah. Hope you enjoyed it. This has been the ramblings of Marshall. Got to ride around with me in the car. I ran and grabbed a few things, so seemed like a good time. Talk to you later, guys.